hefty people, this is Ellen with EGI Designs and welcome to my channel today. Today I have another tutorial for you for the new We Are Makers envelope punch-up board. And this one is going to be Mini Slimline. And so here is a recent card project that I have. It's very beautiful. I'll link over to that tutorial so you can check it out. But this card base is 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I need to make an envelope for that. So let's get headed over to the online calculator to find out our measurements. Okay, here we have the envelope calculator. This is at the American Crafts website. But if you scan the QR code on the envelope punch-up board, you will also be able to get right over to this calculator. So over here we have inches and centimeters. You can toggle that, whatever you need. And here is a visual representation of what the envelope looks like unfolded. Down here you have the paper size. This is squared, so in this case it's 8 1/2 squared. Start line is 33 and the liner size is 4. We are not making a liner today, but if you needed that information it would be here. And if you want to go check out the A2 size tutorial I did for the envelope punch-up board, in that one I did make a liner and that was super duper easy, so you can go check that out. So our card is 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I want this to go the long way. So I'm going out to 6 1/4, and you can verify that up here on the diagram. And I'll go down to the next one. So this one needs to be 3 1/4. And you will see, so 6 1/4 by 3 1/4, and you will see here, this is a little warning. The top flap is taller than the body. So it's letting you know that when you fold this up, it's going to go over to the top. But that's okay, because we can just trim right there, not a problem. The envelope padding I'm going to put down to 1/8. So if we go back up here, we need a paper size that is 8 inches squared. Our start line is 42. And if we were going to do a liner, it would be 4 7/8 squared. So now that we know that information, let's get making this envelope. Okay, now that we have the measurements, we can get going on the envelope. So we needed a 8-inch square sheet, which I cut from this Bear Boss craft cardstock. And it's a heavy-duty cardstock, which I really like for making envelopes, so I feel like it protects the card better when I'm sending that through the mail. And then if you've seen any of my other envelope videos, I love when I mail to cover the front with a panel and then put it in the envelope, because it protects the front and it kind of evens out those lumpy bumpies, so it goes through the mail easier. And I have some dewdrops on there, and then these are popped up a little bit, so I cut a panel from that. This is the dark blue from scrapbook.com, and this is the heavyweight, so it's 100 pounds. So this card should be very well protected. Alright, so we need to start, our start line is at 42. And so in here is the scoring tool. You just pull that out. Here is a QR code, and if you scan this with your phone, it will also take you over to the calculator, so you can do that right on your phone. So I usually use the 1 2 3 punch board, but I've kind of switched over to this one more lately because this is very, very easy. There's not a lot of learning curve at all. So and if you've missed, I've done an A2, kind of a really weird size. I've done a 5 by 7, and now we have a mini slimline today. So I'm trying to go through all the kind of the various sizes so you can check and see how versatile and easy this little new board is. So we have on here, I'll just point out really quick, we have this diagonal line on the top, and you always want your paper to be up against that very tight, so everything will line up correctly. Then we have your scoring track, which runs really against this plastic piece here. And there is a solid line right next to that as well. And then we have a bunch of different numbers here. And this is where when it says on the calculator what the start line is, this is what they mean. So our start line is 42, so it's way down here. So we're going to stick our paper in here, and if you have any trouble getting it underneath, there's this like little tab up here, and it just kind of pushes it off of the background a little bit, but usually it just slides right in there. So I like to put this in, you put it against the top, and then I kind of back up from there. So our line that we need to start is 42. So you can see here, the diagonal, it is lined up with the 42. So you punch, and then score, and again the score line is right next to that line there. And then you turn it counterclockwise, slide it in again, make sure it's tight against this top ledge, and then you are going to line up this notch here, the vertical line of it, against that solid line. And then you're going to punch, and then score. And we're going to turn again against the top right here, tight, and then down here, so this line, you want it to line right up with that solid line. Punch, score, and then turn it one last time, and then right up tight against the top, and we're going to back up to have this edge of the notch there line up against that solid line. Punch, score, and then you are done with that part. And then on the back of this is a corner rounder, and you can leave it if you like it pointy or round it. Okay. And once that's done, you're done with the punch board. And don't forget to put the scoring tool back in so you don't lose it. Okay. So, first thing I always like to do is I like to take my card, place it on here, and make sure that it fits within the confines of these scored lines, which it does, so we are good to go. So then you just start folding this up, and you're going to burnish that with your bone folder. And this is what they were talking about on the calculator with the warning sign. You can see here, here's the score line. So this is going to go over that. But we're just going to trim right here, so it's not a big deal at all. When you have a mini slimline size, a lot of times the top and the bottom flap will do that. But it's easy workaround, so. Okay, so now to make this easy for myself, so I'm kind of visualizing here. Let's see if I can put a color in here so you can see a little better. So I want to kind of cut this across here so that it'll be straight across there, and it will make it so this flap isn't overhanging on the other thing either. So I just put a little guide for myself. So I put in the flap so that I can have a flat edge here, so I can cut that straight. And then I'm just gonna cut it where I had put those tick marks. Cut that off. Okay, see? No big deal when it gives you that warning. You just cut it off where you need to, and then that's no problem at all. So then this one too is gonna go over, and you can kind of see, you know, where do you want this to be cut off. I'm just gonna take a little smidge off. So that's what that's gonna look like. So you just kind of take off the top and the bottom triangle. No big deal. Alright, now it is time to glue this. So when I'm making an envelope, I like to tuck in the flap, put the side flaps over, because that will show me where I can put my adhesive visually. So you know that underneath this is where the edge of that is. So I need to put the adhesive just in this area so I don't stick my envelope together. I usually use on the bottom flaps, I use 3/8, and then on the top flap I use 1/4. That's just personal preference, but whatever you like to do. Okay, so you get that on. Untuck that. I like to use a vinyl weeding tool to get under the release paper there. Peel that off. And then you can put up the flap. And then once it's all together, I just kind of like to reinforce those score lines. Alright, so now we need to do this part. Again, I'm using the 1/4 on this one. And then, because I'm kind of a paranoid person with the mail, I just like to add a little piece down here for extra secureness. Okay, so now we have our envelope. And we'll check it, make sure we're good. And putting the cover over there, it also helps it go in and out of the envelope easier. And I usually try to emboss this with an embossing folder that matches the occasion. So in this case, the background here, I did use, this is the Petite Flourish from Gina K. So I just used the same so it would match. Alright, perfect, looks good. Let me see, I think I'll decorate this too. I used the Peaceful Petals on this one on the card. And I like to, a lot of times when I make envelopes, to use the same stamp, you know, on the envelope. When I make a card, use the same stamp as on there. So everything is really coordinated. We can kind of figure. I think I'll do this on the front. And let's see, so this is a pretty long one here, so we'll go this way. I'm going to use the Versafine Clair Pinecone for this. This is a pigment ink, so it leaves a gorgeous, crisp impression. Alright, so there you have it. Super duper simple. Everything is coordinated and gorgeous. And so now we are all set to mail this out. This particular one had a lot of layers, so I'm just going to double check. Alright, because I have a lot of layers on this particular card, I'm going to use, I have this like little guide thing that your envelope has to go through to be able to not count as a package when going through the post office. So that fits through. It has to be less than 1/4 inch thick. I do have a video about how to calculate postage for different things. This is not bendy at all, so it will require a non-machinable stamp, and it's kind of heavy, so it'll probably need an additional ounce stamp as well. But that is okay. The price of delivering a hug to someone, which is totally fine. Alright, if you've enjoyed this tutorial today, I would love it if you could hit that like button and also consider subscribing to my channel. I will put all of the details in the description box and over on my blog as far as the measurements and the supplies I used. And I do have a punch board playlist that you can go through, and I have a ton of different punch boards that I've made, different envelopes over the years. So you can go and check that out. And I will also put there my card making playlist, so you can go and check out any cards that I've made and get some inspiration there. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and until next time, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.